Peace and greetings, beautiful people. What's good? It's your girl Nya here. I'm back for another What's Up Weekly. I know I have been kind of MIA, but things are looking a little bit smoother now. I needed to take kind of a self-care break, and I think that's fair for all of us to do when we need it. All right, so what we're gonna do is I'm not gonna do any. Should I do some astrology, y'all? I haven't looked at my astrology gig in a minute, so let me see. I know I look a little rough, just a little bit. Oh, this camera is nice. So this is a new camera. Let me know how the audio is. Let me know what's really good, what's really popping. All right, let's see. We are officially in Virgo season. Virgo, the Virgin, which is also the Hermit in the tarot cards, right? It's about gaining insight, being meticulous, looking back at maybe what could you do better, what could we do better, being detail oriented. There's a sense of cleanliness and well-being and health also with Virgo energy, so just take care of yourself, you know. The moon. So by the way, what I'm looking at is my ephemeris app that I have on my phone. This helps me to kind of see what's going on ahead without pulling up a chart and all of that kind of stuff. The moon starts the energy of the moon is in Aquarius, so there's maybe a sense of detachment a little bit earlier in the week. Then we move into some more intuitive feeling in the feels with the Pisces. Then we kind of feel reborn. We become a little bit more passionate, and then we end with a steady, earthy Taurus. We are no longer in Mercury retrograde, and this was a doozy this time around, I'll tell you. We have Venus in Libra, which is a really good placement. So love is love is love is love. This week Mars goes and stations direct in the sign of Capricorn. Capricorn, we're just moving forward. Thinking about the long-term goals. What do you need to cut away? Where can you be a little bit more forthcoming and a little bit more assertive as to the things that you want relative to your career and your longer term ambitions? Also, what can you cut out that's not serving you the best? If you're dealing with any type of addictions, bad habits that might be addicting and are not necessarily healthy, how can you work through those and move forward? What can you cut away? Saturn is also still living his best life in Capricorn, and I think this has been a testament to the time what we put in is what we get out, and we're thinking about the longer term goals and into that. What else? The outer planets are all still, Saturn's in retrograde, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto still in retrograde, Chiron still in retrograde. But such as the changes of life, there might be things that as we're moving forward, as we feel like maybe personally we're moving forward, but maybe collectively, socially, we feel maybe a little bit stagnant, and that's not the best. It's out of our control, kind of. So just ride the wave, and let that kind of guide you. We're all in it together, So with that being said, let's see what what the advice and the energies are for this week coming up. Here it'll be September 26th to August 26th, 2018 to August 31st, 2018. I'm going to pull 3 cards and see what the advice is just throughout the week, any additional insights on things we may be carrying that we need to let go. So all right, we got a jumper. First card we have is the King of Pentacles. So this is a man, or excuse me, this is an individual who is about that life. They are about being the master of their practical and financial, I don't want to say their financial stuff, basically. This thing is going to, I'm not used to this camera yet, so bear with me. I'm still learning how to focus and not. Okay. So, King of Pentacles. Beginning of the week, pay attention to your finances. Pay attention to how you're spending your money. What do you need to hold on to? Where can you invest your money back into yourself? Who are you supporting with your money? What businesses are you supporting? Think about these bigger things this week as we move forward. You know, if you're trying to save money, you know, save money, budget. Think about your financial well-being, as this definitely adheres to and from our stress levels. So, you know, that's just something that we need to pay attention to. Also, take care of your physical well-being. Go and get into a routine where you're taking care of your body, that you're putting clean food into your body, which in turn is going to make your physical body feel better and cleaner as well. I know sometimes it's difficult, but it makes a big difference in the cognitive way of how we do things. The next card here, we have the Nine of Wands, and while we are working on this financial, come on, focus. As we're working on this financial issues, or financial well-being, should I say, you know, we are warriors. We have to work through these things. Sometimes it can be difficult sometimes, you know. I feel like this card is suggesting to not beat yourself up if things don't go as planned, if things don't always work out the way that they should, or if you feel like you're floundering somewhere. You know, we're much more harder on ourselves than we would be with other people. So sometimes, you know, take a step back, breathe, recuperate yourself, just take a minute to kind of lick your wounds, if you will. And, you know, get up and keep trying. That's all we can do. You know, it doesn't make any sense to overpressure ourselves when pressure sometimes may not be conducive to productivity. So go ahead and work out on that productivity and see how, you know, if you got to take a step back, take a step back. It doesn't mean it's all over. It's over when you completely stop. But if you need to take a break, there's nothing wrong with that. And we live and we learn, and we can move forward from there. The next card I have here is Temperance. Yep, again, here we are talking about balancing. We're talking about balancing, okay? Being the grand alchemist out here. I think this is a very powerful card as an advice card, you know, for this week. You know, take the passion, take the intuition, put it in a pot, stir it around, and taste the sumptuousness. You know, there is a divine purpose that we all have, that we all learn more and more as the years go on, as time goes on, and finding that sweet balance in the middle is a beautiful place to be at. You know, if you can strive to get there, because ultimately at the end of the day, happiness and peace begins within us. What we have going on in our inner self-dialogue, it's going to reflect in the outer world as well. And so if there's certain things that we will not tolerate, that we won't like, instead of saying, you know, I don't let people in because I don't trust people, you know, it might be better to tweak that self-dialogue a little bit and say, I'm cautious around people, you know, because the energy that we speak out or to ourselves is the energy that we're vibrating on, and the energy that's going to find itself around us. And I know there's some difficult situations sometimes. It's, you know, instead of saying I can't do this, You know, say, this is what I can do in this circumstance, and see how that changes how your time goes, how your week goes, and how maybe it's gonna get you to where you want to be. You know, focus on where you want to go versus where you don't want to be at. Because sometimes when we tell ourselves, I don't want to be in this position, we find ourselves in that position that we stated out loud, or that we stated to a friend. So, you know, refocus. Where do you want to be? How can you temper the inner dialogue to follow along with the actions that we are taking steps to get towards that place that we are looking for? You know, it all stems from the common denominator in our lives will always be us. Not that the world revolves around us, but we are who we are, and in our minds, this is how the world works, right? So lend an ear when you know you might need an ear one day, because I feel like what goes around comes around. And the way that we're mixing and we're vibing out is also the way that we mix our outer world as well, you know. But yeah, there's definitely a time of peace and balance in this week coming up. Things are starting to look up. I think this is a really powerful card. I feel like there's a lot of healing in this card. I know that's more attributed to the Star card, but in this case, you know, Spirits are telling me this is a time of healing and a time of peace, and a little bit of time of rest as well, to recalibrate and reassess what the next steps are for us and the next goals. All right, so this deck that I used here is the Texture Tarot, which is a beautiful, beautiful deck. And yeah, so that's where we're at for this week. Thank you for rocking and rolling with me. I know this is a quick video, but that is my intention, to keep them I don't know, I'm just go with the flow. You know, I just listen to my intuition, and when the sparks come, the sparks come, and when they don't, they don't. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Much love, many blessings. Peace.